Howdy, folks. I'm praiseworthy praisiodimium, pragmatically paraphrasing pensive pencils.
I'm Amber.
And Amber, can you walk us through your reasoning when coming up with this tongue twister?
Well, you see, pencils are known to be long-winded.
That's matter-of-factly false.
No, I assure you, it is very true. And so the pragmatic thing to do is to paraphrase them so you don't have to listen to them drone for hours, because pencils, they will.
Apparently, I have very little patience. Let's get started. Alright, folks, our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Asking My Daughter if she wants to rent from my house after kicking her out? I'm a 42-year-old male, and I'm moving 9 hours away to another state from my kids. 19-year-old female, a 17-year-old female, a 15-year-old female, and a 13-year-old male, to go and live with my girlfriend. Their mother passed 6 years ago, so it's just me. The easiest way that I thought that I should do this, since no one wants to go, but if it works out better that I have to bring the minors with me, then I will just have them come, is that I offered for my 19-year-old to rent out my house with her girlfriend. They would live with the other 3 kids, and they would also have their cats. I would pay for everything else because it's still my house, and I still have to come here to work, so my thought was crashing on the couch or something, since it's still my place, and the plan is to eventually sell it. I want to ease everyone into the process of me moving and not have to involve other family to take in my kids. My oldest has voiced some concerns that I just don't understand. Her biggest one was that since I kicked her out to light a fire under her and to get her to live on her own and enjoy freedom, she feels like now that I'm asking her to come back and pay rent and live here again, that it contradicts why I kicked her out. To me, it's totally different. Another thing was that she and her girlfriend, who lived here for over a year, thought that it would be hard moving back in and living with everyone again, including me part-time, because of how horrible and toxic it was and how they don't want to go back to that dark place. And she added how the house is in rough shape, lots of broken things that I'll eventually fix. Front door lock is broken, and some water damage issues, and also some appearance problems. I said that we could paint or whatever. I'll be their maintenance guy, because it's still my house, but it seems like she didn't like the thought of me having control over her, which I really don't understand. I've always been told that I guilt people for supplying roofs over their head, heat, etc., when I simply want respect for what I do. Her idea was more so that she finds her own place, and that she would take on my 2 youngest instead of maintaining a house. All 3 kids, our dog, her cats, cleaning, parenting, etc. But to me, it's a better deal financially and logistically for all of us. And it doesn't feel right to have her take them on because then I would have to sign a legal guardianship. She also said how everyone just wants this over with, just sell the house and leave so they can start to heal. I have many reasons why selling would be more complicated right now, and just keeping them all in the same house while I'm gone, and then crashing when I work, for now just seems like the best for me financially, and then, like I said, no other families would have to take in my kids if I let them stay. There are so many details that can go into it that I can explain if needed. So am I the jerk for proposing this idea to have my daughter live there after kicking her out? It seems more beneficial for her, maybe more so, than me. Alright folks, what do you think? Way more beneficial for his daughter or way more beneficial for him?
Yeah, this is way more beneficial for OP, and he's a major jerk here. Like, there are so many things I want to say, but first of all, you do not get a gold star for providing a roof over your children's head or heat. Like, that's basic parenting 101.
Yeah.
And that does not command, like, your children to treat you like a superhero.
Yeah.
2, he wants his daughter to become a full-time parent to her siblings, but doesn't want to give her guardianship. If he wants her to take care of them full-time but not be guardians, he needs to compensate for her for that.
Yeah.
And so the whole idea of like charging her rent to babysit his other children is just really, really gross.
So, I mean, even if she were to have guardianship, it would just make paperwork easier for things like school, right? So if they had a sick day, she would be able to sign off on that, which she's going to need to do anyways.
Yeah. Well, my only point on the guardianship thing was that unless she's legally a guardian, like, 'cause you don't get paid if you're a parent for doing the parenting. So, like, unless he wants to make her a formal legal guardian, then he should compensate her for every hour she watches them.
Yeah, well, I think he should do that anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Even if she became a legal guardian, this is to his benefit. He's trying to convince everyone that this isn't to his benefit, when the reality is that he gets to go and live with his girlfriend, take no responsibility for childcare, doesn't have to do anything with child rearing. I mean, I know that these are older kids, but there's still work to be done. And treat it like he's doing them all a gigantic, huge favor by supplying them a place to live, which again, like you said, is the bare minimum. So if he wants to have his kids live in one place, then he needs to supply them a place to live, right? So there's not going to be really any difference between the cost of the house, maybe utilities, for instance, with some kids living there and all of the kids living there.
Yeah, well, it just sounds like he wants to exploit his oldest because he's like, well, I can make money off of her. I can make her pay rent to come back here. But it's like, no, if she's watching your 3 other kids, you better be paying her and not charging her rent. Like, okay, charge her rent, but then, deduct, that from all the hours you have to pay her for watching the other kids.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think rent is the right answer here. Rent is for a landlord, and landlords do not make their tenants take care of their children.
He wants to be both parent and landlord, but also not a parent and just like give all the parenting responsibilities to his oldest. It's a very strange situation.
Yeah, so I really just think that OP needs a reality check here. There's no way that this is a mutually beneficial situation. This benefits one person and only one person. You get to go and live with your girlfriend and have fun there, while everyone else does all the hard work of the situation. I mean, certainly you still have a job, but it sounds like you're not even working full time. I don't really understand what's going on here, because it sounds like you might have some remote work opportunity, or maybe it's all remote and you just have to come in occasionally. There's a lot of details here that I'm not clear on, but at the end of the day, your daughter would be doing you a favor, and if you don't want her to do you that favor, then move your other kids to wherever you're living, right? I mean,
or ask other relatives to take them. There's nothing wrong with getting other people involved.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be pushing 3 children onto a 19-year-old.
Yeah. So that's really kind of my thought. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Reddit Am I the Jerk Throwaway says, "You're the jerk. Your eldest concerns are valid. You absolutely are contradicting yourself here, on top of advocating your responsibility to parent your minor children and giving that responsibility to a 19-year-old. Despite being a legal adult, she's not developmentally mature enough to be raising 3 teenagers, especially when the next eldest is only 2 years younger. Is there a reason, then, other than your girlfriend, that you're moving 9 hours away? Is this a requirement of your job? If not, your responsibility is to your children and not your relationship. While 6 years may seem like a long time to adults, it's not for children that have lost their mother. Is the girlfriend the only reason that you're moving there? If so, that's a pretty lame reason to uproot or break up a family. I don't know what the answer is here, but what you proposed isn't it." And OP replies, "No, it's to live with my girlfriend. My job is here, which I will eventually have to find a new job to live with her. To me, it's not lame. I'm just trying to be happy for once." This is very frustrating, because your responsibility as a parent is to your children. And that's really what it boils down to at the end of the day.
Right. Having children is not always a fun thing, but the children did not ask to be brought into this world. And so Opie has an obligation to look after them until they're old enough to look after themselves.
Yeah.
And it just seems like he's probably never been a very involved parent, and now he just wants to nope out and have fun and leave his children to do all the hard work.
Yeah, why can't your girlfriend come and live with you? Why can't she? I mean, it just seems like, unless she has a job that's like more lucrative than him, which might be the case, right? Then it seems like there's another option here that doesn't even seem like it's been explored here. So, and Reddit Am I the Jerk Throwaway says, "Either find a way to be happy in a long-distance relationship or move your children. Don't make your barely legal daughter parent your 3 minor children. You're asking for all of your kids to resent you, and get themselves into trouble. And OP replies, they refuse because they say it's unsafe there because of some gun violence from my girlfriend's brother and her ex being a creep and just a lot of stupid drama. And they're already telling all the family about it and they will get involved. And if they came up, we would have 7 to 9 kids in one household. So you're choosing her family and children over your children is what it sounds like. She has what? Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. I mean, this just went from bad to worse.
Yeah, it keeps getting worse with every comment, it seems.
So the girlfriend can't move because she already has a family and are already established there. He can't move because he already has a family and they're already established there. But what he's trying to do is be like, peace out, kids. I'm going to go live my best life without you. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, which is just so gross.
And Future Various 9495 says, you're the jerk. Are you blindsided by hormones? How can you in one page mention gun violence, 7 to 9 kids in one house, and still say that it's just kids making problems? There are serious problems. You're not taking care of the kids, and your proposal sounds like neglecting your teen's needs. The right thing to do, fix the problems in your own house. Be a dad. If there's an itch, scratch it in the weekend when there's just someone to take care of your kids. Or just let it be, because you have a responsibility to those kids. And OP replies, I just want to be happy for once. I want my soon-to-be fiancé and family to be happy and start my life again.
Well, just all the old kids, so, he can have his happipiness. Like, it literally sounds like he doesn't care about his kids at all. They're just a burden that he wants to get rid of.
Well, I think some of it is, and I think that the other commenter hit the nail on the head here, right? These are legitimate problems. Like, having 7 to 9 kids in a household, that's a legitimate space issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they may not even have enough space where his girlfriend lives to accommodate that large of a family. That is a problem. And then on top of that, if there's a completely different environment, then the kids may also suffer in that respect. And I mean, certainly, like, gun violence is a problematic thing. And I mean, that's not something to be unconcerned about. And certainly, I think that there's a lot of stuff here that I think OP is just kind of glossing over and not really taking seriously. And then the lead, it says, firstly, it's terrible that you don't find being with your children as a source of happiness. Second, if you define being happy as with being a girlfriend and fancy free, that you do that after your eldest is 18. If it's not a genuine safety issue for them not wanting to move, make them move. Negotiate with the family. If it is an actual issue, then you're a hideous man. And OP replies, they claim it's not safe because of some stuff that they've experienced there. So they're telling the family it wouldn't be safe to go up there. Obviously, I disagree, but at this point, I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. And again, like, he's just dismissing their sounds like very legitimate concerns. I mean, maybe there's a small chance that they're exaggerating these claims, but I mean, it doesn't sound like an ideal place for them to move. And I imagine if they don't feel safe there, then he should be taking into account what they're saying.
Yeah, well, I just hope that all his relatives find this post and are able to, like, talk and figure something out, because this is not a tenable solution.
No. Alright, folks, then our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Demanding That My Husband Pays Half of the Takeaway Food That We Order? My husband is a 40-year-old male, and I'm a 35-year-old female, and we have very different jobs. Basically, I make double what he does, and he argues that I should pay for the takeaway food, especially because I'm the wife, and it's my role to cook. Therefore, if I cannot cook, then I should make up for it by paying for takeaway. Since he already shares the split of the bill for food and groceries and rent, to give you a little bit of context. Since I have just taken on a new role at the start of the month as the head of the department with 6 members on staff and a lot of loose ends to tie up from a previous leadership, we both wake up at 4:30, and while he gets home around 3:30, I find myself arriving around 5:30 p.m. on a light day. His job involves food processing, and while it's a laborious process, when he leaves the workplace, that's the end of the day for him. Whereas when I come home and continue to work from home, including weekends, until around 9 p.m., when I just pass out because I'm too tired. For him, home time means 90% being on his phone or laptop and watching videos and playing games, making coffee, and smoking cigarettes. I am not going to lie to say that he never helps. He does clean the bathroom and hoovers occasionally, once a month, and does the dishes, not without complaining though. Now, it has come to the point where a few months ago, when he had one too many drinks, he told everyone at the table that he was investing all of his money in my butt. This is when I started downloading every single receipt for groceries, phone bills, rent, Uber drives, takeaways, holiday accommodations, plane tickets, etc., all paid for by me. His argument is that some of those trips were things that I wanted to do or see. However, the fishing trip that he wanted so much came out of my own pocket and never asked a dime from him. Last month, we were mostly on holiday. He only contributed around $200 towards monthly expenses with rent, food, and bills, which again, I did not complain about, as I knew that he wasn't paid for most of that month. But now, once he's working, he is refusing to give me anything beyond rent, bills, and groceries, stating that I am the woman of the house and that it's my job to do the cooking. I told him that I am spread thin these days until everything is more streamlined with everything at work, and that maybe he could cook every now and again, or heat up some ready-made food, microwave or oven. But he asked me what was the point of him getting married if he was going to have to do the cooking himself. So am I the jerk for wanting the bills to be shared equally if we're both eating? Also, not one single time when I asked him about ordering did he mention the fact that I would have to pay for all of it. In certain instances, he was even the one asking me to order food. And edit. Folks, this looks like this is just an edit that essentially says that OP is defending their post and saying that this isn't a duplicate of another post. Edit 2. For those wondering why we have separate finances, it's because whenever he had access to some money, he just spent it on boils, twisters, bats, etc. Trust issues, red flags, I know. Also, for those wondering why I'm still with him or what I get out of this marriage, it's simple. I love him. I suggested counseling, but he laughed in my face, saying that I'm crazy and he doesn't need someone else to tell him what to do, when he already knows what he wants. I will suggest 1/3, 2/3 split for all shared bills though. Not sure what to do about holidays and other expenses though. I feel that he will still expect me to pay for those. So we'll need to sit down and have a long conversation about expectations. Edit 3, hopefully the last one. Having spoken to him, we decided that moving forward, he will pay 1/3 of everything shared and I would pay the rest. But he will have to cook around 3 times a week during the week. I cook during the weekends anyways. As for the rest, I think that he is reconsidering his views about gender roles, as I've shown him what everyone has been saying here. Thank you kindly, especially to those who took the time to give me suggestions and say something helpful. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
I don't think Opie's being a jerk here. I mean, I think him trying to pretend like he's paying for everything when he's not is really gross. And then also acting like it's OP's job as a woman, like that is some sexist nonsense.
Yeah.
And like they don't even have a traditional split. Like OP makes double what he does, and so for him to be like, oh, well, it's your job to do all the cooking or provide me with food, like it's just really gross, really nonsense.
So, I don't know. If I were OP, the moment he said, what's the point of me getting married to you if you weren't going to cook for me or something like that, I think I would have been out.
Mm-hmm.
To be quite honest, like that shows that her only value to him is that she cooks or does the house chores and other things like that. So her value isn't that he loves her or that they have wanted to build a future together or work together to solve problems. It's that she's a convenient person to do the chores for him.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's the way his statement sounds.
Well, it is the way it comes across, and I think that may be like a deeper sign of issues in the relationship if he really sees it as kind of a transactional,
Yeah.
I want you to do the house stuff. I don't want like housework. I need someone to do the housework for me type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really gross.
Yeah. So I don't think that OP's in the wrong here. I can understand their frustration and I can understand them being upset because they already have a lot on their plate and their husband is doing nothing to help them out. And he's not even willing to help her out, even though he's benefiting greatly from the amount of work that she's doing. There's no doubt. I mean, certainly he's paying some in the house, and I'm not saying he's not doing anything, but this is a hard time and she has to work extra until she can get everything sorted out, and he's just not willing to even do anything for her. And I think that that's a real shame, and it shows that he's not willing to be a team player here, and that's really unfortunate. So I don't know. I think that hopefully they can get some counseling. Hopefully now that he's kind of seen some of the comments here, he realizes how much he's in the wrong. Hopefully that's not lip service.
Yeah, that's the problem is like I'm afraid this might be one of those situations where like he does it for a week and then is back to the same old, same old.
Mm-hmm. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. Amber's got a joke.
Why do vampires drink blood?
Oh, look, another jovial Bobstein vampire joke. Oh, I'm so scared of your monsters and vampires, jovial Bobstein. Why do vampires drink blood, Amber? Is that what it said?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you exactly why vampires drink blood. Because they don't drink strawberry milk because it'll rot your teeth. And that's why they drink blood over that. And they have very sensitive teeth. They would cost them a fortune to get dental work done, especially when they bite the dentists.
I mean, that's not a bad answer. Root beer makes them burp.
Yeah, I imagine so. I imagine so. And I have Mega Mint.
Mega Mint Monday.
It is Mega Mint Monday. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday. I hope it's going well for you. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it in the form of a very one-sided lease.
Lease, you will pay $1,000 a month to live in my house, and with the privilege of watching your 3 minor siblings and taking care of your dog, our dog, and your cats. And I get to crash at this house whenever I want to because it's still my house, you know, and so there's no real landlord-tenant stuff like that. And yeah.
That sounds like a very one-sided lease. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.